Pharmacy interview red flags and how to avoid them. Hello everyone, George here, and today I'll be walking you through some of those pharmacy interview red flags that I have personally seen that instantly weaken your chances of being a successful candidate. We'll walk through how to address them and how to fix them so you can walk away from this video a stronger, sharper, more confident and employable candidate. But before we dive in, if you do have an interview coming up and you would like personal one-to-one practice that is tailored and personalized to your needs, then use the link below to book a one-to-one call with me and we can personalize the call to your needs to make sure that you are the most ready come your interview. I believe this is the fastest way to dramatically increase your chances of being successful at interview. I also have created some downloadable resources on my website that are tailored to interview preparations. So if you'd like to check those out, again, link below. There's some mock interviews and some key tip sheets that might be of relevance to your preparations. So without further ado, let's dive right into this video. So first up is the silent sabotage. These are mistakes that interviewers notice straight away, even before you finish your first answer. They set the tone for the entire performance and outcome of interview. First up is arriving late or just being unprepared. Doesn't just look unprofessional, it signals poor planning and a general lack of respect for the role that you're applying for. You can fix this by simply being prepared the night before. Checking the route ahead, checking for delays, maybe having an ulterior route in mind. Prepare your bag and your documents, everything that you need the night before. Get your clothes ready. Make the interview day as stress-free as possible. You can also bring printed answers, printed notes, printed questions. It's a stressful day and the memory is fallible, so don't let your lack of preparedness impact your interview. Also, generic answers really hinder your interview outcome and they instantly reduce your impact on the interviewers. If your answers sound copy and paste, you will be forgotten. Instead, link your responses to real personal examples, that service, that patient group, that trust, that situation. And by using real examples, these are the gold dust, the glue that pin our interview together. It shows the applications of the attributes in those personal specifications listed and showcase why you are the best candidate for the role. And finally, up in this silent sabotage category is speaking negatively about previous colleagues, previous trusts, previous situations. This is a huge emotional intelligence red flag. And yes, you could use this as data and advice as well if you desire, which I'm not an expert on. A better approach is to reframe those negative situations. Focus on what you learned. Focus on how that's made you better and reframe those challenges into developmental opportunities. You also remember that healthcare, and especially pharmacy, is a very small world. There's a high probability that someone on the interview panel knows someone that you are referencing or talking negatively around, may even know the person that you're talking negatively about. It doesn't look good for you. So by making these small adjustments, you'll appear more polished, more reflective, more safe, more confident, and as you can imagine, these are all qualities that every panel values and respects. The second topic is unmasking your own red flags. You basically shoot yourself in the foot without even knowing. So these are blind spots that candidates rarely recognize, yet they quietly shape and showcase how self-aware you are and how coachable you appear. First up in this category is not being able to clearly articulate and define your weaknesses and your development needs. The panel aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for self-awareness, looking for someone who can grow and develop in this role. People who can identify their gaps appear safer, easier to develop, and often are the longer term, safer and stronger candidate. Another unmasking of red flags in this topic is around your body language and body posture during interview. This can even undermine brilliant answers. You can fix this by ensuring you have a neutral and open stance, a steady but not intense eye contact, you're dressed appropriately, and your hands are visible on the table. No fidgeting, no playing with your hands underneath the table. As you can see, I do talk with my hands. That's maybe something that might help you. This displays confidence and authority during interview. Another one is not asking questions at the end of your interview. This makes you look passive and uninterested in the role. Simply prepare at least 3 questions that you have, and some might be developed inside the interview itself, but preparing them ahead of time allows you to be prepared for those questions at the end, which they will come. So prepare one about the team structure, prepare one about developmental opportunities and support that you may have, prepare one around the service, the trust, the company's priorities. Do your research. If you are struggling to find out what questions to ask, simply ask yourself, do you have enough information to start this job tomorrow? If the answer is no, what questions and what information do you need? That might even be, is there parking on site? Which shows that you're already thinking about how you would get to work on your commute. They don't just have to be clinical high-end questions, is what I'm trying to allude to. Putting these minor adjustments in can have fundamental impacts to the outcome and put you above majority of candidates that are interviewed. So as you can see, interview preparation is a personal approach. And if you would like one-to-one help to define what your issues are and really combat those, you can book a one-to-one coaching call with myself where we'll run through and personalize that call to yourself to make sure you are best prepared come your interview. Or if you prefer to run a mock interview yourself, I have a resource on my website. I'll put the link below that you can download and just kind of see the cadence and what is expected during these interviews. In my eyes, preparation is key. Practicing and simulating and visualizing the interview will only help you and develop you come interview day. Next up is behavioral traps that candidates fall into. So this is where candidates lose easy marks, not because of poor knowledge, but because of weak structure in their answers, which leads to them being underscored. If you followed me for a while, you may have seen and heard about me talking around the STAR method. Now, this is not something I've made up. I'll put a screenshot as to what it is, but basically it's a way of structuring your answers to allow them to be impactful and highly scoreable. Without doing this, your answers can become vague, underscored, and lack of impact. They make you forgettable. Your answers become generic. So use this STAR method to create a bank of examples linked to the personal specification of the person they are looking for and those attributes they are looking for. This might be a couple of STAR examples on safety, on communication, on conflict escalation, resolution, and maybe even service improvement. Preparing these ahead of time allow you to be ready for that interview question and have your answer at hand at the forefront of your mind, making you come across a confident and competent candidate. When creating examples though, be careful of exaggerating your experience and your input. This is another red flag. Panels can spot inconsistencies instantly. Remember, be realistic of the scope of the band that you're applying for. A junior pharmacist saying they single-handedly inputted a new electronic prescribing system into the entire trust, I'm going to call nonsense on that. However, you may have had input into an element of that, so just be clear on your role of what you did, because these grandiose gestures and these grandiose examples can really undermine the most truthful answers and examples that you've previously given. Therefore, one exaggeration can impact the entire theme and the entire feel of your interview. Another behavioural trap that candidates fall into is showcasing a fixed mindset. Healthcare is an evolving and an ever-challenging sector. Ensure you're replacing rigid phrases with more open and growth mindset phrases. I am actively developing. My next step to improve is. I'd like more exposure to, and link it to the role that you're applying for. Is this role perfect for your growth? Panels want growth, they want honesty, and they want a self-reflective candidate, not someone who is pretending to know everything. Healthcare is ever evolving, and so should we. We want coachable candidates that will flourish in this role. Pharmacy-specific pitfalls. So these issues are unique to our profession and truly uncover if you understand the roles and responsibilities and the challenges that pharmacy experience. And here is where you can separate yourself from others. So not being updated on current regulations, current issues, current legislation, and clinical trends shows your lack of awareness and projection of pharmacy in the future. To combat this, simply look at MHRA alerts, MHR recalls, look at the news, look in the politics, what legislation is being passed. You can even look at the trust or the company you're applying for to see what their trust values are, to see what their initiatives are moving forward, and what their 5/10-year plans are. It might also be relevant to look at their CQC report, see where improvements need to be made, see where they're being successful. In showing this research ahead of the interview shows that you are not only aware of pharmacy on the big scale, but also on the local scale and the where you are applying to. It shows that you want to work there. If you'd like to learn more about politics and healthcare, I have done a video on that, and again, I'll link it at the end of this video. Another pharmacy-specific pitfall is a weak understanding of the fundamentals of pharmacy. Whatever level we're applying for, whatever level we're functioning at, we have to understand the fundamentals of pharmacy. The dispensing, the checking, the medicines reconciliation. They all link back to being safe, being competent, and being able to lead a service. If we can't do the basics, how can we expect to do the optimizations? So ensure you have prepared some examples around safety, around teamwork, around service progression, around those fundamentals of patient counseling, communication, etc., etc. And finally, in this pharmacy-specific pitfall is around lack of showcasing of your interprofessional collaboration. Teamwork and interpersonal skills are fundamental to a highly functioning pharmacist, or a functioning pharmacist at any level. So again, back to your examples, make sure you have showcase teamwork, make sure you have showcase collaboration, and then link it to the role, link it to real examples, and link it to patient and service positive outcomes. Show the impact that you have had in collaboration and show how you will lead this in roles moving forward. So these pharmacy specific elements really separate an average interview from a standout interview. And we really want you to be that standout person. And last up is sealing the deal. So post interview, here are a few tips just to make sure you put that cherry on the top of your interview. So your performance doesn't end when the interview stops. Yes, there's a lack of marking, but you can still win a few more brownie points post this. So these really strengthen your interview and your application and leave that positive feeling, that sweet taste in the interview panel's mouths. Without doing it, you can quietly undermine your interview. So not thanking the panel for their time. It's a wasted opportunity in my opinion. Not many do it, which is why it's a cheap way, a quick way, an easy way to just win a few more brownie points. This doesn't have to be a groundbreaking message or a grandiose gesture, but a short sentence, a short note to say, thank you for your time, thank you for the opportunity, here's my interest in the role, and I look forward to hearing from you. If you don't do this directly after interview, you can do a little follow-up email. Again, short, sweet message. But a really key thing with this is that too much or excessive follow-up or following up too aggressively is a red flag. A simple polite message post-interview or even an email 24 hours later, just expressing what we've been through is enough. We as interview panels want to be wanted, and this is an easy way to just win a few more brownie points and make it clear that you want the role and you want to work in this organization. So that's all for the video today. If you apply these strategies that we've gone through in this video, you won't just avoid the red flags, you'll become noticeably stronger, more confident and sharper candidate come interview, all leading to a successful outcome. Drop any questions or queries in the comments below around your interview experience, tips and tricks that you have maybe seen. I'll endeavour to respond as quickly as possible to any questions that you have in the quest to find and land your next job role. Also, if open to it, I have created a school environment. It's free to join, but we can have an open discussion there, and hopefully the collaboration of everyone in the group will allow us to develop each other, both me and you. Again, I'll put the link below how to join the school. It's free and I'd love to see you in there. So that's all for this video. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you for watching and good luck in your next interview. You've got this.